the detailed and geographical dimensions marked by violence and ongoing wars over decades. Below is a detailed timeline of the story. Story of the State of Israel was established on a large portion of historic Palestine. War with Gaza becoming a refuge for many who were forcibly expelled from their lands. Between Gaza, Israel occupied Gaza, the West Bank, and East Jerusalem. Israel retained control over Gaza's borders and resources, placing Gaza under military control, during which Gaza saw uprisings and popular resistance against Israeli control. Israel, the conflict between Gaza and Israel is part of the broader Palestinian-Israeli conflict, which dates back to the early 20th century. This conflict involves historical background. Hamas emerged as a significant political and military force in Gaza. 1. The Nakba. Following the UN partition plan in 1947, Hamas won a majority in the Palestinian Legislative Council. This led to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, dismantling its settlements there. Israel continued to control Gaza's borders, airspace, and coastline, effectively maintaining a blockade of the Gaza conflict. Gaza remained under Egyptian control, but suffered from poverty and overcrowding due to the influx of refugees. 2. Israeli occupation of Gaza during the 1967 war. The occupation lasted for decades. 3. The First Intifada. The first Palestinian uprising erupted in Gaza and the West Bank, featuring widespread protests against Israeli occupation. During this time, 4. The Oslo Accords. After the Oslo Accords between the Palestine Liberation Organization and Israel, Palestinians gained limited self-rule in certain areas, including Gaza. However, escalation 1. Israel's withdrawal from Gaza. Israel withdrew from the Gaza Strip. Despite the withdrawal, 2. Hamas takes control. In the 2006 elections, this led to internal conflict between Hamas and Fatah. With Hamas taking full control of Gaza in 2007, the conflict is deeply rooted in historical and political issues, including the national rights of the Palestinian people, ending the occupation, and their right to self-determination. Since then, Israel has imposed a tightened blockade on Gaza, citing security concerns over weapons smuggling. Major wars between Gaza and Israel. 1. The 2008-2009 war. Israel launched a large-scale military operation in Gaza to stop rocket fire. The war lasted 3 weeks, resulting in the deaths of over 1,400 Palestinians, mostly civilians. 2. The 2012 war. Israel targeted military leaders of Hamas and Islamic Jihad. The conflict lasted a week, causing hundreds of Palestinian deaths and significant infrastructure damage. 3. The 2014 war. This war erupted after rising tensions between Gaza and Israel. It lasted 51 days and was one of the most devastating conflicts, killing over 2,200 Palestinians and causing widespread destruction in Gaza. 4. Recurrent escalations. In May 2021, a major conflict broke out due to Israeli actions in Sheikh Jarrah and the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. Gaza experienced intense bombardment, leading to hundreds of Palestinian deaths and large-scale destruction. The Israeli siege on Gaza 1 imposed restrictions. Since 2007, Israel has imposed a land, sea, and air blockade on Gaza, leading to severe humanitarian crises. The blockade restricts the entry of essential goods, including food, medicine, and construction materials. 2. Humanitarian situation. Gaza suffers from extreme poverty, with unemployment exceeding 50%. And most residents rely on humanitarian aid. Health and education systems are in dire condition due to the ongoing blockade and repeated conflicts. Reasons for the ongoing conflict: Israeli occupation, continued control over Palestinian territories, and expansion of settlements. The Gaza siege. The Israeli blockade has created dire living conditions for Gaza's population. Palestinian resistance. Armed groups in Gaza view resistance as a legitimate means of opposing occupation. Religious and political tensions. Israeli attacks on sacred sites, such as Al-Aqsa Mosque, fuel further tensions. Conclusion. The war between Gaza and Israel is not merely a military confrontation, but reflects the ongoing suffering of Palestinians under occupation and siege. Resolving the conflict requires addressing its historical and political roots and ensuring Palestinians' fundamental rights are upheld.